Jake Paul versus Dana White just got dangerous. Things are heating up. Jake Paul is making moves. Man, the beef between Jake and Dana is escalating. We're going to get all into it in this video. Man, there's something that everybody's missing that I'm going to tell you guys about. And when you see this, it's going to become so obvious that it's going to freak you out. And if this happens, this is a big blow for whoever gains control of this one thing. Now, with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, and make sure you turn the notifications on because I go live more than I post videos. So I'd rather have this be a monologue. I'd rather have it be a dialogue rather than a monologue. I'd rather have us connect. I'd rather have us chat. I'd rather have us talk. I'd rather hear how your day's going rather than me just up here ranting, which I am super fine to do. I love to rant. I could go all day. I go rounds on rounds on rounds, but if you hit the notifications, you'll be notified when I go live and you can hop on with me and we can talk. Speaking of which, shout out to Fight Circus. Okay, guys? And you like that segue where I just say the word speaking of which. And Fight Circus home is a freak show fights. Plus, if you know a martial arts or just a gym owner in general, send them to Studio Millions. And Studio Millions will pack their gym with students who pay, stay, and refer. So let's get right into the video. Okay, guys. So Jake Paul and Dana White just got dangerous because I realized something is happening that nobody is seeing happen. I'm giving Jake the benefit of the doubt, but I'm not sure if this is actually what Jake's up to or if Jake even sees it, okay? If Jake is doing this level of chess, this is like 5D chess. This is crazy. Okay, so Jake Paul just announced that Francis Ngannou is signed to Jake's promotion, MVP. Jake is also doing MVP's first MMA fight, which is Gina Carano versus Ronda Rousey. Okay, now Gina versus Ronda is going to headline, and Francis Ngannou, the former UFC heavyweight world champion, is going to co-main event for the ladies. Now, this video isn't about women's MMA. This video is not about women's sports. I have another video on that called like Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano sucks, so you can find that on the channel. And I go deep into there. I even explain how the WNBA can be fixed, but I'm sure they're not going to be receptive to it because it's like way too based and factual. So if you like that type of thing, go watch that video. This video is more on what they're attempting to do, which is they feel that Ronda and Gina have big names. Jake also likes to play the like, hey man, we're promoting women's sports card, which I believe he's sincere about, but there's something missing that nobody's talking about, okay? And that thing that's missing is not Gina, it's not Ronda, it's not even Francis. I mean, Francis is fighting a dude who I've never heard of, which, hey, good for him. Get the bag. Francis is my teammate at Extreme Couture, so I'm super excited to hear he signed a new deal, a big money deal, and he's going to fight again soon because I'm not only his teammate, I'm a fan of his fights. So shout out to Francis. We're excited for that. But the biggest play in this whole thing right now is the fact that Jon Jones is not on the White House card. And what this means is that people keep asking Dana about Jon Jones, to which Dana has said that Jon Jones is done. Okay, so you're going, well, what the F does that have to do with anything? Well, not just that people were speculating that because Francis was a free agent, that he might fight Jon on the White House card. More importantly than that, for this video, this is where the human chess comes in. Jon Jones has now put out a bunch of tweets. He's deleted them. And now he's put out a more official summary statement where he says, hey, man, we were actually negotiating. He's talking to Dana. I was negotiating with the UFC. I had a number in mind. You guys gave me a lowball number. I was willing to come down on my number. But when I came down on my number and you guys sent the lowball, man, that's where like the talks kind of stopped. So it wasn't a my hip is injured thing. It wasn't a we couldn't Jon doesn't want to fight thing. It was a, hey guys, you guys aren't even paying me reasonably type of thing in Jon's mind, right? I don't know what the numbers are. I'm not going to get into that even if I did, right? The point of what I'm saying is that now Jon has come out because Dana publicly said that Jon Jones is done, which may or may not be a negotiating tactic to like, hey, Jon, listen, man, we won't fight you, bro. This is the number. If not, we'll just say you're done. Jon has countered back. And this is where it gets really, really interesting, right? And I'm not sure if Jake even understands what's happening. But because Jon has countered back and said, well, man, if I'm done, then I would respectfully like to be released from my contract. That could imply that Jon would be released and then available to be signed by MVP and Jake Paul. And now Jake and Dana have publicly beefed so much, there is no way that Dana can let Jake sign Jon Jones. So this means one of two things. Either Jon somehow gets out of his contract and goes over there, and it's going to be Francis just won a fight. Now we have Jon Jones. We just did Ronda and Gina, which brought eyeballs. And so maybe I'm the one in my head that plays human chess in like this potential world of like, man, what could they be doing? Like, what could they be up to? If I was in Jake Paul's position and I was trying to accomplish X, Y, and Z goals, what would I be doing? And if I was in Dana's position and I was trying to accomplish A, B, and C goals, what would I be doing, right? So I'll play those hypotheticals out in my head because I just like to think about that sort of thing, But I went to go grab it. I don't even have an energy drink here, guys. This is just not, I'm not even, I'm caffeinated, I'm like at 500 milligrams today, but who's keeping track, right? We got to get to 1,000 anyways. I'm about to go spar felony Charles Bennett, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm talking about right now is that Jon Jones is a huge chess piece on this human chessboard. So what I believe what would happen is that Dana and Jon will come to some sort of agreement in the near future, because not only is that great for the UFC because everybody wants to see Jon Jones fight again, but it's also preventing him from either being released or promoting the narrative like, hey man, I'm trying to get released. They say I'm done. They're not going to fight me, but they won't release me, right? Which is like a lot of bad PR. And I don't think at this point Dana cares about that because the UFC is successful despite whatever athletes they have or don't have. But it's probably just another headache, man, he doesn't necessarily need or want. And, Jake is the type of person that will play that up. Hey, Daddy Dana, let your boy go. Why are you trying to hold these fighters back? Why are you trying to underpay it, right? And so Jake's going to fire off at Dana, and Dana is the one that holds the cards right now. So even though these might be like chess moves that Jake Paul is putting together, I believe that there's a lot of things about fight promotion that Dana knows that like nobody else on the planet knows, right? That leads us into Gina versus Ronda. Ronda is saying that she believes she's worth a certain amount of money. She believes she's going to bring that value to Netflix. And she was not honored in her value by the UFC because Ronda came to the UFC with a certain idea of what she's worth and a certain weight class she would like to fight at. And that's not in the UFC's current business model. So while they may have entertained Ronda coming like, hey, out of respect, we'll listen to what you got to say. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, we'll think about that, right? The UFC has a 135-pound division for women, and they are looking for the next champion. They believe that will not be Ronda. I don't believe Ronda wants to fight at 135 ever again. And I believe that this play for Ronda, personally, Ronda as an athlete is the best play she could have done. But I also believe that Ronda fighting Gina isn't really relevant to anything other than getting eyeballs onto Jake Paul's MVP promotion, getting eyeballs on the fact that there is an MMA competitor, which is the perception that Jake is trying to put out, is that there's a competitor to the UFC. He's going to start trying to, I would assume, poach talent. I'm going to assume he's going to try and get out ahead of it and get talent before they get signed to Contender Series and the UFC. And I'm guessing that they are going to have some more celebrity-style MMA fights. this could be, in theory, a good place for UFC fighters to go after they're no longer competitive in the top 5 of the UFC. Maybe go get a bag over there. But that would mean that Dana would have to co-sign on releasing them and letting them go get the bag. And if Jake keeps chirping to Dana, that's probably not the thing that's going to happen. Right? So if they were in their own lanes and they were complementary to each other, that could be a very viable thing. But as it stands right now, it seems like Jake is trying to enter into Dana's lane. And there are some very, very, very big plays that it appears to me as an outside observer that Jake is trying to make, being that Jake is a social media genius and he knows how to generate publicity. He knows how to generate views and he knows how to make plays. He is a very, very successful business person via his social media. So he's good at the social media part, and then he's good at building businesses around the social media, which are two different skill sets, right? And man, this could get crazy. So guys, the main thing I want you to take away from this video is that Jon Jones is pushing for free agency and Jake Paul just signed Francis Ngannou. So what does that mean to the MMA space? I want you guys to comment below and let me know what you're thinking. I want to hear what you guys are thinking about because I like to keep my ear to the streets. I like to be in tune with what the MMA community is saying. I'm a man of the people and I want to hear your opinions. So in addition to dropping a comment, hit the like button. It feels so good when you do it. Changes colors. It makes you feel good inside. But more importantly, subscribe and bang the notification bell because then we can have a chat in real time because you'll get notified when I go live. You hop on the live. Hey, I might even bring you on the live with me, let alone we're going to be chatting. We're going to be dialoguing. It's not just going to be a monologue. It's not just going to be a crazy rant like this. I can go all day like this, but I'd rather go along with you. So go ahead and tap the notifications, hop on the next live with me, and let's chat. I want to see where your guys' heads are at. So anyways, my name's King David MMA. Shout out to Fight Circus. Shout out to Studio Millions. Bang the notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. I love you guys. Peace.